So here we are with the proposal plan invitation for the October and Fall Break Design Club to design Thrive Town Labs for self-preneurs to flourish to their potential. And in our vision, every learner is empowered to lifelong thriving. And we see the big need in our society right now that our education system is really struggling to prepare our students to succeed and flourish in this increasingly digital, global, and challenging world, increasingly technology innovation, increasingly needing kids to be adaptive, creative, and entrepreneurs in their own right, but not just creating things outside themselves, but creating their own innovative self. So we're going to cultivate passions and talents through exposure to the whole world, so they can learn through these real world projects and figure out which ones are they meant to be, who are they, what turns them on, and what's their ideal place in the world to contribute, to give back, to make better. So that's what we call self-preneurs, self-directed and entrepreneurial thinking, solving problems. So what will we do during the design clubs? We're going to have self-preneurs who design their best self, career, and life. And also at the end of these programs, we'll have a design for a Thrive Town that will be a community hub where everybody gets to thrive. And the core framework, the unique thing that EIC is bringing to the table on this program is what we call our secret sauce of learners becoming self-preneurs with capacities for thriving. And what we mean by that is that in the middle of the circle, there are four sort of ways of knowing, being, and doing. There's the thinking, visioning, feeling, and doing. And then the middle is the person integrating all those ways of experiencing their world. And on the outside, you see the sort of these competency or the capacity that correlates with that. So a scientist scholar is someone who can investigate conceptual world with intellectual curiosity, using their brain and their mind to its best use. The creator activist down here in the green is manifesting, building, acting with the body in the physical world, creating things that have a form and an impact on the world. So they're doing and moving through the world. And then there's this red part, the community builder, collaborating for productive relationships with empathy and synergy. They're using their feeling senses, their what we would call affective capacity to really connect with other people and work with other people on a productive relationship. Also, the purple, innovator designer, envisioning the unknown future with imagination and inventive ingenuity. So that's the design thinker, and that's the creator of the future. Then at the top, and what we consider the most important piece of these capacities is the self-developer. This is when a human is self-directing in their learning, growth, integration, and expressions of unique purpose and talent of the authentic self. What? So, sorry, we have Noah. Just keep a little quiet, okay? Oops, I pushed the button. So this is what the self-preneur really will know when we've developed a good self-preneur, is when they are self-directed with agency and clarity of where they're going in the world. So during the design club, we see a progression of development through 5 steps: identifying interests and strengths. What is the key challenge in life that I want to solve? What turns me on, so to speak? What lights my buttons? And then the second is the visioning and mission, purpose-driven vision of the future. What is my hero's journey? What will I strive for to get better at in my life? The goals are the set desired outcomes of that process. The map to mastery is how you're going to get to that treasure. It's like the hero's journey to find the treasure. And then at the end, my future story. What is my story look like when I'm thriving fully in life? And then our second secret sauce is when we basically are creating a place, space, and programs that allow the self-preneur to do all that. And so you have the Self-Preneur Thrive Lab systems over here on the left, collaboratively working together on a personal plan with capacities for career and life success, but supported by down here, the self-preneur, the coach team. So every self-preneur will actually pick and develop their own coach team, which will include their parents and include their peers, their favorite peers, and all the people that are mentors and coaches and counselors that are supporting their unique pathway. And then inside this yellow square is what the physical place would look like with career employer stations. And again, this is just a high-level visioning concept, which the kids will help evolve. Projects to explore and develop their competencies with their latest technologies of virtual reality, augmented, and the newest is social XR. These are simulations where kids and humans can learn how to be collaborative, successful members of the community and their project teams. They work with expert coaches and mentors. They build and validate their competencies and their career credentials. They build their personal capacity portfolio in their chosen career pathway. And then in addition, in the space, there's wellness for everybody: physical, emotional, mental, and social vitality. And again, we're talking all ages here. So we're talking babies to seniors are going to be part of this Thrive Lab and optimizing their own wellness. And in the short term, we'll have teacher-led class trips to the Thrive Town. They immerse themselves for hours or a day in exploring their different career stations. Student teams can come to do specific projects to build their competencies. And students can meet with mentors as they get older with a career path and they identified an employer. So that's the core of what we're doing, surrounded by these real projects, working with employers to design experiential projects that give them the skills and competencies they need to succeed with that employer. And then around that is that coach team hub. So anyone in the community, teachers and employees, community members, counselors can join the coach team hub and be able to be selected by the self-preneur as they are forming their coach team, or they're pursuing a project and they want to work with one coach who's a specialist on that project area. So that's the whole master plan vision. But how will we, during design clubs, create that? Well, we'll first start with what are the needs of the community. Specifically in the October break, we are going to talk with the Incline community. What are your needs for thriving in this particular community? What would be the vision and mission of that? What are the goals? What is the map and plan to build the Thrive Town or Thrive Lab for this community? And finally, at the end of this design club, we want students to help create a business plan that will allow us to create that and build that exciting future. And in that exciting future, we're going to look at some different innovative programs that influence and inspire the design of the Thrive Lab. And this is just a small list of the entities that have really influenced and excited us. And I go through, and with the kids, what we'll do is go through in more detail, exploring these different venues and see which aspects of these experiences we could connect into the Thrive Lab. And these are examples of real and simulated action learning. So Kidzania is converted malls where kids go for the day and explore a career path, because the whole town is run by kids. In micro society, its whole schools become student-run societies. And you can see up here, it's a little hard to read, but there's a city hall sign. And so all the classrooms in these schools get converted into a segment of society. And the kids apply for a role in that sector of society. If they want to go into business development, then they go and apply for a position to be an entrepreneur or run one of the businesses that's part of this student community, like the commercial marketplace. So we're bringing all of these concepts together. And another big influence for us is regional collaboration centers, where this is in San Diego, the Design Thinking Education Center and Urban Discovery Academy of San Diego is really a regional collaboration to develop the solutions in the world with students to advance education, economic system, and rejuvenate the what would you call the innovation ecosystem, the entrepreneurial ecosystem, and all the social systems around that, health and human services. So this is the kind of urban community center that we would want to bring some thinking to with Thrive Labs. And then the other parts of what we're looking for is simulated group action challenges, sort of like using VR. Here's VR called Sandbox in Vegas. You basically wear a whole suit of VR tech, and then you go into these stadium type things and you have battles with other people. But we would do multiplayer systems for learning and traveling around the world and solving world problems as opposed to pure gaming. And then in the Discovery Center, they have these beautiful climbing structures. So we want to make sure all kids of all ages have physical climbing walls and other engaging action experiences to build their skill sets and their abilities. The Discovery has a Spark Lab funded through the Smithsonian and Tesla, which is meant to spark innovative idea creation. And so we would tap that wisdom and extend it to the older kids and adults. The escape room is a really cool thing. A lot of people have been in them now, where you get to different challenge and you have to solve problems to get out of your conundrum, solve mysteries within a certain period of time. And they're very fun, and they can be very challenging and can be made educational by solving math problems, solving, challenges of all kinds. And one more inspiration that is really important to us is the Challenger Learning Center in Reno is one of many around the country. And their mission is to really get kids literally on missions, simulated. And a lot of people in Nevada may not know we have a really good one right here in Reno. So I've been on a mission to Mars with my son, and it was fantastic. You take on the role of an engineer or a scientist or commander of the mission, and you play out the roles in that job. And if you're successful and good at collaborating, you make the mission successful. So we want to simulate and emulate that and use more virtual reality in order to get on lots and lots of adventures. I'm sorry about the dog in the background. I'm open floor plan. And this is another example of kinds of different spaces that we would, tables and facilities like that build collaboration. This is a library in a school where all the books are actually on the lower level around the edge, and everyone congregates there. It's the whole community congregation space for doing work, but also collaborating and socializing. And finally, the example I wanted to give about something in Reno that is an amazing exemplar is the Washoe Library downtown. I just went there for the first time yesterday, and this walkthrough, this tier right here is how you enter from the street. And there are 4 levels, 2 above street level and 2 below. And they have a maker space up here on the 4th level. They have a huge kids center to the back of this picture. There's a water feature. There's beautiful, comfortable spaces to read and work down there. And one of the days of our of our design club, we're going to be in this library getting creative about how we can replicate this kind of beautiful indoor, bringing the outdoors indoors for well-being and creativity. And then there's, of course, modern designs with big windows and fun spaces to read and collaborate and work together. So those are some examples. And in summary, what we're trying to do is create a vision of a showcase for truly student-powered lifelong learning to empower thriving people and communities. And the mission is to have our kids help build out this plan. And I will share one other, actually, I'm not going to share this, but it's an example, a sketch of what could be possible in a space that we've identified down in Reno at the Ati district. It's a 20,000 square foot space, and we are looking at how we could do a Thrive Town in that 2-story, 20,000 square foot space. Because if we can do this, we could go after some serious funding from the ARP and the $7.6 billion that are coming into Nevada right now for economic and workforce development purposes. And then finally, this is the small 1,500 square foot sort of sketch up of what we could do as a prototype in 1.0 or phase 1 of this process. And this is what, at the end of the week of October break, we would love to have kids figure out how to do, what's the right spacing, what's the right size, how many career stations can we fit, how many people can we fit. You know, this is the conversation that we want the kids to help us with. And this is the Ati district, old Lowe's building that we're also looking at. That I mentioned the 20,000 square feet would be over here. And we're thinking of a space in here for a virtual reality theater. And then over here is the generator, which is a massive maker space, which our kids could use access to make and work with really professional artists. And then there's an innovation collective right here. They're building programs to build entrepreneurs in our community to stimulate the economic growth of the region. So we have great plans to collaborate with all these people. And this is the overview of what the first week of the design club would look like, with each of these columns being also a 1 to 2 week time frame, weeks 1 and 2, when we stretch this program out through the fall. So each day, if we're looking at the October break, is the 2 hours spent on Self-Preneur Mastery, 3 hours spent on the Thrive Lab design. And then we roll that out over the week along the plans that I mentioned before. My darn dog. And here's the itinerary laid out by day, and where the learning activities and who the coaches are that we're so far lining up to work with us. And I have Mark Pingle on this call, and I'm hoping he will agree to participate with us on Thursday when we're visiting the UNR facilities for innovation and to talk about entrepreneurial business planning. And then at the end of the week on Saturday, we're hoping to have a showcase party where the kids will share what they've discovered with their maps to mastery and their Thrive Lab design prototype. And then here are some coaches that are participating with us on the program. I'm Mary, and Priya Alawat is co-founder of EIC with me and is leadership and early childhood education and has a foster child right now. She's doing some amazing work in the foster community. And Sierra Jackson is a former intern with us, and she's working as a 5th grade teacher and is going to help us with coaching the kids on self-development and self-preneurial. Mary Davidson on the call here is our development and communications lead for EIC, director of program development for the Arrowhead Ranch for Troubled Teens. I said Illinois, I think it was Iowa, but she is going to be helping us moving here to really get us to the next level of this program. And Larry Daly is our design thinking process consultant, emeritus professor at UNR School of Journalism, creator of the first course on human-centered design and innovation, collaboratively created the Serious Games interdisciplinary minor. So we want game-based learning to be a part of what the kids are doing in their learning experiences, and in fact, becoming creators of those games, including virtual reality multiplayer programs. Then we'll have Rachel French. She's the lead of the DLR Group Architects for learning architecture for human flourishing. And Elise Fett is a local architect in Incline Village area who is a specialist in structural design and issues of building in the Tahoe Basin, which is a unique process of itself. And she has a middle school son who is going to be a part of this design process with us. Brian Golumbik is a recent graduate of the Colorado University Entrepreneurial Business, Data Analytics, and Sports Management. He was a graduate who grew up in Incline Village here. So he's going to be a coach for us through entrepreneurial business development as well. And I'm going to quickly review these sort of logistics questions. Food will be provided all days, but if somebody's allergic, bring it. Students bring their own water bottle. For safety, we're going to do masks, but mostly we're going to try to be outside. We'll do some outdoor hiking on Monday, so bring shoes. We will have, we will have staff on hand. Sierra Jackson is certified and all that, as is Mary Davidson. Parents will complete emergency forms. Students will make an oral oath to be a respectful team member. Technology-wise, we're going to just use journals, and we'll provide them if you don't have them. Bring your laptop and have access at home. These are the 3 programs that we're going to be asking kids to work with. And so parents need to sort of give the go-ahead. Project Pals for student-centered project learning and planning. Discord is not well named in my opinion, but it's a collaboration platform that the two kids we have signed up to do the program this fall so far are going to be have introduced me to Discord and have agreed that that's the right platform for us to coordinate. And Google SketchUp is a free platform for designing, so the Thrive Labs. And transportation, drop off at designated locations, adults to transport students by private car, minivan and private cars to Reno on Wednesday and Thursday of the October break week. And finally, what are you going to get out of all this? Well, develop your master map, help evolve EIC to develop our frameworks for applicability to the middle school, high school age group, and with Thrive Ecosystems, create plans for Thrive Lab 1.0 and 2.0, learn about the key business planning processes, technologies, space designs, budgeting, marketing, communications. And finally, you as a participant, whether you're a parent or a student, we want you to know that this is going to be an incredible help to all students for hands-on interdisciplinary projects. Prepare middle school students to be ready for high school and career development. Have a personal plan and a vision for the future. And high school students will be better prepared for college and career success with the capacity to thrive for life. So that's huge. And I'm thankful for anybody that can join us on this journey and this adventure. So we have a link that at the website, you can find that sign up link. And please, everyone, link to our program through LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. Sign up for our news. And of course, we're always looking for supporters to help us make this program successful. And so thank you again for your participation. And I will now pause and get out of this program and ask for any questions that you all may have.